Good morning, Internet. It is 8:10 in the morning, and unfortunately, our time has come to go home. And now we're routing here from Northern Cape, Upington, Keimoes area down to Oudtshoorn today. Now, our planned route, you can see, is a little bit off the beaten track. And today we're going here from the Northern Cape down to Oudtshoorn, which is quite near to the southern end of Africa then. And we're going to route through the towns of Kenhardt, Carnarvon, Williston, Fraserburg, Leeugamka, over the Swartberg Pass to Oudtshoorn. Quite an interesting route we haven't done before. The route is about 716 kilometers, and I actually don't know how much of it is dirt road, and I've got no idea about the condition of the road.
This is a metropole of Brantley. Yeah. If you blink, you're gonna miss it.
Now, from Keimoes to Brantley, it's all tar road. So at Brantley, we decide to get off the tar, take a left, and go via the Swartberg towards Williston, a road we've never traveled before. Brantley is a small town here in the Bushmanland. And an old track boer called Oudtshoorn in the 19th century settled here in the Fraserburg. The Fraserburg is a dry river which only occasionally gets rain, but typically when it rains, it becomes a flash flood. In 1961, such flash flood cut the settlement in two, and after it recovered in 1962, a municipality was formed. Now, this area was once subtropical during the Miocene period, and many fossils have been found in this area. And from 1910, the farmers used irrigation methods comparable to one used for thousands of years by the Egyptians. The surface is very flat and water does not run away easily. The way rainwater is spread over a large area and are allowed to sink into the soil. The moisture in the area is enough to farm with crops on a very small scale, and farmers live on these crops once the rains have gone. On the long run, this method is not feasible as evaporating water leaves behind salt and other minerals. Today, this method is no longer used.
We're about 30 kilometers outside of Williston, and we're getting this rocks here. Looks like almost the same as we've seen at the playgrounds of the giants. Now, the rocks isn't as big and it isn't stacked that high, but it's still stacked. This little man sitting in the sun here. Also, the rock has got the resemblance of the musical rocks in Namibia, and I'm sure if we try some, we'll find some musical rocks here.
I'm sure we're going to find some musical sounds here similar to the musical rock, so let's test it. Gonna see if I can find some success here. Not much success so far. I'm sure we're gonna find some. something here. There's some artifacts and rock paintings from some people around in this area. And the first Europeans arrived in this region as a track boers who arrived in 1759. In 1851, Fraserburg was established on the farm Rietfontein and named after the Scottish immigrant Reverend Colin Fraser. Post office was established and then the town started developing. In 1861 a prison was opened and that was closed in 107 years later in 1968. There are many Victorian era houses in the town dating to the era of the ostrich feather and wool booms of the late 19th century. And another thing is in 1861 the Times distinctive hexagonal stone bell tower was built, known as the Pepper Pot due to its distinctive shape. Now in 1870 a Power magazine was built, which still stands on the edge of the town. Was built in the British Army in case of war with the Griqua people, and it was later used during the Anglo-Boer War. In 1938, the town first got its first power station, which was installed with 7 Lister Blackstone generators. They were still present in 1983 when they switched to Eskom power. I guess they're very sorry they're not there yet now.
Oh. Okay.
The town of Prince Albert, here at the foot of the Swartberg, was founded in 1762 on a farm called Kweekvallei. Now, in that same century, there was a nugget of gold discovered here, and there was a little bit of a gold rush, but this new discovery precipitated a similar population boom. However, the gold yield turned out to be minimal. It became a British garrison during the Second World War, and the town was the site of several clashes between British and the Boers during this period. Better known in this area is the Swartberg Pass, which runs over the Swartberg, which divides the Groot Karoo from the Little Karoo. And the construction of the Swartberg Pass was started under the guidance of Jan Tassis. He used 100 workers from Mozambique, but after 13 months he went bankrupt after completing only 6 kilometers of the road. The rest of the pass was built between 1883 and 1888 by Thomas Bain, son of the famous Andrew Bain, who built the Bainskloof Pass, and many more. It was built using convict labor and opened on 10 January 1988. The dry stone retaining walls supporting some of the hairpin bins are still in place, and some are over 130-year-old. The Swartberg Mountains are amongst the best exposed fold mountain chains in the whole world. The pass slices through magnificent scenic geological formations. The contortions in this rock display astonishing anticlines and synclines, and the vivid coloration of the surrounding quartzite is remarkable. The pass is especially known for its unusual geology that is exposed at its northern end. Here, 700-meter-high quartzite cliffs of the Upper Table Mountain group can be seen. These are often tilted through 90 degrees, sometimes even more. Arguably, the most famous of all these cliff faces is the spectacular Wall of Fire. As we travel up this magnificent pass, just look at these rock formations. Oh, so beautiful. I'm not a geologist, but I believe there's 7 different ways rocks can be formed, and apparently all 7 of those formations can be found in the Swartberg Pass. Anyway, reflecting back on the 8 months we've been away, we traveled a lot, we toured a lot, and in between we worked a lot. So, but it was good. Yeah, in this 8 months, we traveled around 12,500 kilometers and used around 2,500 liters of fuel with approximately just over 50,000 rand. But it was all worth it. It was great. It was a great time. We saw a lot of beautiful things. And we thank every single one of you for touring with us and doing this tour with you. We're almost at the top of the pass here now. And then we will descend on the other side. Just look at that beautiful rock formations. It is just tremendously beautiful. We approach the top of the pass now, and the mist or fog is curling over the mountain. Mist, I suppose. And yeah, on the other side, we hoped for beautiful views, but we're not going to have beautiful views today. These 2 bikers just came up through this fog, and now we have to descend through here. Visibility here about 50 meters. So yeah. No nice views today. We've just cleared the fog, and now we are descending towards Oudtshoorn. The Klein Karoo, Little Karoo, is wet and it's green and it's beautiful like it used to be when we moved here. And now we're just gonna head home, and that will be the end of season 1, and yeah, look out, we'll be back with season 2 very, very shortly, in a week or so. It'll be an amazing tour, so if you enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe, and then you will see you in season 2, which will start in about a week from now. I promise that will be exciting. Thank you for touring with us. Bye-bye. Ons ry hier in die Kaanrivier, dis warm op die middag hier. Die klippe is so mooi en rooi getooi. Hier en daar 'n spierwit streep deur die rotspan met 'n pen gesleep en die donk swart lava oor die rug. Gee my 'n stukkie van die Kaanrivier, 'n stukkie van die mooi natuur, het 'n plekkie in my hart om dit te stoor. Gee my 'n foto van die son wat sak oor die lewenskone maanlandskap, het 'n stukkie van my hart daar verloor. As die water in die kan afkom en het bruisend op die kleite op, en spoedig word het 'n magtige rivier. Die water brul en doen sy ding, na jare hoor ek 'n padda sing, en die woestijnland se nachtelike uur. Gee my 'n stukkie van die Kaanrivier, 'n stukkie van die mooi natuur, het 'n plekkie in